What's up everyone, it's me Ahoy, your favorite spinny boy slash fidget spinner enthusiast, and today I thought I would just talk about the couple of changes that we gonna have Whirlwind coming in the game in the next update, and if they do make Pure Whirlwind good or not, and how it actually looks for the build. Since I've had this question a couple of times on my streams already, I thought I'll just make a video out of it. It's gonna be a short one anyway, so we just have kind of what I'm thinking about it, right? When it comes to the Gore's Devastating Grips, they're talking about here, if you actually go to the developer note, they're talking about a 100% damage increase. Now, I don't think, by the way they are talking about it, right? I don't actually think this is a 100% damage increase. I'll get to why in a second, right? And on the second part, it's just gonna make it easier for you to have it proccing every 1 second on bosses. Because before on bosses, even at max attack speed, you could barely do this. It would end up being like 1.4 seconds on bosses. Now you should easily, even with not cap attack speed, you should easily just get the 1 second always proccing. Because normally it is 3 seconds, right? And you can reduce it by creating the enemy. On AoE, to just constantly proc on bosses, only one target was a bit harder. Now it should be quite easy. Now, when it comes to this part here, damage bonus is now based on damage per second rather than damage per tick. What I think tick means is 1 hit of Whirlwind, right? That's what it was scaling off. It was scaling off the base damage of Whirlwind. Now, and applying all the multipliers, right? That's the big thing. It now actually scaled with all the multipliers to Whirlwind. What they're changing is, instead of being a hit, I assume that tick is a hit, right? It's now the DPS. You can scale your attacks to be you can scale Whirlwind to attack 8.5 times a second. So if this is actually DPS, that would mean 8.5 attacks per second instead of the 1 it was scaling from before, which means this theoretically should be an 8.5 times increased damage for the unique, which would just make the unique quite insane. Look, again, either this is gonna happen where it's just gonna be 100% damage increase and it's, it's not that big of a deal. But if it is the first one, 8.5 times, like that, this is not 8.5%, it's 8.5 times, aka 850%. That would be crazy, right? That would be crazy. We'll see how it ends up. I'll be trying to build out whenever it comes out on stream, basically, so we'll see how it works out. And the other buff we got was to die Whirlwind, right? It also, instead of just granting us crit, it also grants us it also grants us the same amount of critical strike damage. Okay, going on to a planner here, just to show you how this works. Normally this is 50% on one of the weapons, 75 on amulet, and 100 on polearm. The reason you don't really use it is because if you actually go here to a build that would be running for Pure Whirlwind setup, you would already be running Error Perdition, just to skill the core skills, which already gives you free critical strike chance. You'd be running Gore's Grips, of course, right? Which already, even without a GA, that's still 32.6 critical strike chance. With GA, that goes up to almost 50. And then on top of that, you're also running Ring of Starless Skies, right? It's really good for Whirlwind. All the stats are great for Whirlwind. Again, a lot more free crit on the build, which means, and with getting all stats and stuff like that, because you're gonna be running Shroud is really good, and you will also be running Grandfather, which all give you all stats, which means you're getting a lot of crit just from your dexterity. So running that aspect normally was just not worth it. Now, would it be worth it to run it on a two-handed weapon? Likely not. You can just get some better stuff there. Would it potentially be worth running on a one-handed? Maybe. I just think that aspect itself needs to be fully reworked, because first of all, we're not challenging for as long. Second of all, we don't, again, it's not, let's assume we are running that on a ring. We're challenging at most for 10 seconds. Probably not even that, because, Call of the Ancients, you have to proc it every 6 seconds. So you're not really getting a big benefit from it, right? I don't even know if you're gonna run it after the buff, because you'd rather just run a 30% multiplier like Vehement, which also helps with ultimate cooldown. It just depends what can and can't use snapshot, basically. Could you just activate Call of the Ancients once, and then you just snapshot the damage buff and the attack speed? Maybe. The movement speed you can't snapshot, I'm fairly certain. The damage and attack speed, maybe you can do that. Would it be worth it to just do that? Maybe. Again, I don't think the aspect is that aspect is actually gonna be a big deal, but the change to Gorse could be. Again, it could become one of the like strongest uniques in the game. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. And yeah, hope you guys. I'll probably like cover the build a bit on a video. Maybe go in a bit too deep if that actually starts working. Because if the Gorse is the 8.5, right, that would make Whirlwind actually kind of viable as like a low 8 tier kind of build, the Pure Whirlwind build. It will not be as strong as the Whirlwind Earthquakes. Let me just tell you that. It will not be as strong as Earthquakes. Earthquakes are still kind of busted. There's a reason 3 of the top builds are Earthquakes, right? And Mighty Throw for the 4th. Well, yeah. It will not be as strong as the Earthquakes, but it might just be strong enough for you to be able to enjoy the game playing it. Yeah. I'll be looking forward to this in 2 days, I believe it's coming out. And yeah, hope you can have fun with it, right? And yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more of it. And yeah, see you next time.